So let me tell you about terroir. Now this is a word you may have heard us use, you may have read, and certainly if you talk to a winemaker they've probably used. So what does it mean? It's a French word, doesn't have a direct English translation, but most people would say it means sense of place. So what does that mean, sense of place? Basically, it's pretty much everything that goes into making one place different from another, especially if you think of it in terms of a vineyard. So terroir is about where the grapes are grown. And so if you think about this plot here and this plot here, the soils might be different. They might have a different climate. One may get more sunlight than the other, or at different times of day, or there may be different kinds of winds coming in. The microbes in the soil might be different. There may be different animals around, different kinds of predators and things. There may be different trees over here. They may have different crops over here.
A lake, a river over here, but not over here.
Lakes, rivers, pretty much anything that could affect how this plant grows. And for some people that would include, that's not just if you like nature, that would include cultural aspects, that would include traditions and histories, the ways of doing things, perhaps the ways the vines are trellised or things like that, or the way they're picked, and those kinds of things also come into it as well. So this sense of place has a big impact on what the wine is going to taste like. So that could be in a micro version. That could be like a vineyard here and the vineyard on the other side of the hillside, that's just basically next door to it. And you'll find that in France, for example, where wines are labeled by the vineyard they come from. In that respect, you're supposed to be able to nail it right down to specific vineyards, even though they're next to each other, have a different terroir based upon whatever the factors are that make it different. Also works on big scale, if you like, from a country like France to, say, the west coast of America. Wines there are going to be different, or South America. That's not just necessarily down to the styles of the way they're made, it's down to grapes grown in France, for example, and the kind of climate and everything they have there is going to be different to, say, a hot climate on the west coast of America, and what those grapes are going to be like. So you could say you like Chardonnay, but you might have just had Chardonnay from Burgundy in France, and when you try the Chardonnay from California, you might hate it. Same grape, but because they come from two different places, they're different. What was your example, Mallory? You were saying that
if you say you try a Malbec from Washington, before you go out and try a bunch of Malbecs from around the world, because, for example, a Malbec from the Loire Valley in France might be completely different, and something like a Merlot from Washington might be more similar in style to that Malbec that you had than the Malbec from the Loire Valley. Sometimes place really is more important than grape variety, which is why France labels by place. I mean, not France, all of Europe, essentially, labels by place.
In Europe, that they put where it comes from. So like I was saying, they will put, for some wines, they put the vineyard it comes from because it's that important. Sometimes the geographical areas are bigger, but they can start big and go right down, but you're going to see the name of the place on there, whatever size of region we're talking about. Whereas in what we call the New World, like America and South America, Australia, etc., they will put the name of the grape on there. You might have the place as well, but the grape is normally the main thing that you're going to see on the bottle. Anyway.
Thanks, Martin.
Yeah, so that's terroir for you.